Bitcoin just had one of the most insane days of price action in a very long time. I'm going to break down exactly what happened and why. Also, big things taking place on the macro scene, from the Chinese yuan to Russia surging in Bitcoin mining. But first, let's start off with, well, the big story, which is the First Republic Bank is on the brink of collapse. Another one up on the chopping block. Another bank, of course, now seeking rescue by the government. It's currently looking to sell down around $100 billion in assets. It was estimated to have around $300 billion in assets under management as of just 3 weeks ago. Oh, and these guys got a $30 billion rescue package only 30 days ago. Where'd all the money gone? It's gone. It's just gone. The entire US banking system, house of cards right now. Only backed up because the Federal Reserve keeps putting more chips on the table. Remember, there are 186 banks which have been identified as being at risk of collapse right now. Together, they hold at least $620 billion in unrealized losses in things like US Treasuries and mortgage-backed securities, according to the FDIC. The Fed will have no choice but to print probably trillions more to backstop the entire banking system, which is what they put themselves on the line to do. And let's not forget, QE, it's going global now, with the Fed extending these bailouts beyond the USA to friendly economies in places like Japan and the UK. It's crazy stuff. One silver lining to all this is that when this was announced that First Republic was on the edge of collapse, a new bank could be collapsing, Bitcoin started pumping immediately. I guess good news for Bitcoin holders. If truckloads of banks end up collapsing, Bitcoin's probably gonna do pretty good, along with gold, of course. Also, worryingly, mainstream pundit Jim Cramer says there is no systemic contagion here. These are not the systemic contagions you're looking for, which means there's almost certainly systemic contagion here. Only 186 more US banks to collapse, guys. Just waiting, and maybe a few hundred overseas as well. The banking crisis could get a lot worse. Obviously, I hope that it doesn't. But Bitcoin currently is loving the banking crisis. Make sure, of course, to smash up that thumbs up button if you think that banks collapsing is good news for the price of Bitcoin. Now, before we talk about the big macro news and Bitcoin's just insane price action, if you are a trader, then you need to get yourself an account over on BYBIT. It is the best place for trading crypto futures, spot altcoin markets, doing copy trading, and when you use that link down below to start your account, you're going to be eligible for up to $30,000 in deposit bonuses. And you better act fast, because for a limited time, BYBIT and I have teamed up to do a $1,500 cash giveaway. Just deposit $100 or more and make one trade before May 1st to be eligible to win that $1,500 cash prize. Link in the description. Now let's talk about the macro news. Russia has just become the second biggest Bitcoin miner, behind the USA, of course. Apparently, there's also reports of Russian miners creating a huge demand spike for Bitcoin mining hardware right now. Also, the head of Russia's central bank was quoted as saying the central bank's plan includes, this is very important, listen up to this, creation of special organizations that will be charged with mining crypto and processing payments for cross-border trade deals. That is crazy stuff. The central bank potentially looking at mining Bitcoin. I guess this is what happens when one of the world's biggest energy producers is cut out of the system, the international financial system, that is, completely. They have their Forex reserves stolen. They turn to crypto, turn to Bitcoin for international trade. Now, you don't have to like Russia to understand just how important that actually is. Now, another macro news, another major South American economy is breaking away from the death grip of the dollar. Argentina is joining Brazil by announcing that it is going to start paying for Chinese imports in Chinese yuan, not US dollars. And in China, very interesting, the yuan has finally overtaken the US dollar as the primary currency of international trade, now accounting for 48% of China's international trade. That is compared to just 47% of China's international trade, which is still happening in the US dollar. That 47% number, by the way, is down very sharply from 83% just a few years ago. So big things are happening right now in the global economy, and it's going to affect everything. So don't ignore these crazy changes. The US dollar is under incredible pressure right now in terms of its status as a reserve currency in the petrodollar. So big stuff. Let me know in the comment section if you think the US dollar is done for or not. Now let's talk about Bitcoin, because the last 24 hours, they've been crazy for Bitcoin, man. Just look at this chart right here. I managed to snap this right before the daily close for Bitcoin. The price of Bitcoin surged all the way up to $30,000 yesterday. Then there was some crazy rumors started spreading around social media that both the US government and the Mt. Gox Bitcoin was moving to exchanges to be sold. This started from a firm called Arkham Intelligence. Now, this caused panic. It triggered algo bots, and Jump Trading, major market maker in the crypto markets, was the first to rush for the exits. They sent a shit ton of Bitcoin over to Binance in a panic, only to find out about an hour later this was all just BS. So, to sum up the last 24 hours of price action, we had an epic pump up and over 30K for Bitcoin, followed by an epic dump based on BS rumors, followed by, once again, an epic pump. But in my opinion, the most important thing that we saw here was this: a solid defense of Bitcoin by the Bitcoin bulls of both the red box, which was a zone of key price support, and the blue line, which is the 50-day simple moving average. Bouncing there, I like seeing that. That 50-day MA, by the way, is a key trend line to hold if you really want to see a continuation upwards for the price of Bitcoin. Also, the daily MACD is nearing a bullish cross as well. Same time, we're nearing a monthly cross for Bitcoin too. We're also seeing a trend reversal play out here on the daily MACD, with the red histogram bars switching from dark red over to light red and trending upwards. Now, we have not confirmed that daily bullish cross yet, but it is definitely something to be keeping an eye on. Okay, that's it. Subscribe now. I'll see you next time.